Hello, today we'll be taking a look at the lanyard knot. This knot is generally, as the name implies, is used to start a lanyard. Gives a loop to attach whatever it is you're going to attach on it, and then a nice little knot, and continue on up with whatever knot you're going to add on to make the lanyard decorative. Today we're going to be using 25 inches. I'm not actually going to be using it for a lanyard, but rather I just want the knot, and at the end of it, stick around, we'll see what I'm going to use it for. Well, we'll start off, we'll take that bite, middle of the line, take the bite, put it around the finger, and do a layout so that the pinky side is underneath the thumb side of the line, and begin, since I'm tying this in the right hand, I'm going to make a counterclockwise loop and lay across that line that's going across my fingers. And I want to pick this up a little bit so that I can pass my line through a little easier, and take that line that's running across the fingers, go underneath the line that you made the loop with, and then pass it over, under, over across that loop. And basically what you're forming up here is a Carrick's bend knot, and it's based off of this. We're going to go ahead and double this up then to form this into more of a decorative knot. With this, we've got two lobes. We want to go ahead and make two more, and do that by starting off with one of the lines going across the top of the knot. And what you're going to make sure to do is go to the opposite side of that line that's going around the finger there. Right there, you want to make sure you cross that, and then come up beside that line that's on the other side here, like so, and that'll form up the third lobe we'll need. And we want to make sure we're going to double up now that line that's coming beside our finger there on the left hand side. We're just go ahead and make sure pass all the way around, following that till it comes back out. And when you go through, make sure that you pass there to the inside of that line that's coming around your finger. Don't let that line going on around the finger split your passes. Make sure it stays doubled right beside one another. And now it's coming out beside the other line. We want to stop right there with that double. And we're going to go ahead and form our fourth loop then with this other line by going on around. Again, making sure that we pass the other side of the line that's going around our finger and up through the hole. So pull up, and right there we're making sure we're the other side of that line before we go through. We'll dress up the knot some, even it up, and then we'll go ahead and double then that line that's coming there on the right side of the finger around. We'll double that line up right here. Just pass all the way around till we come back out. It would be the top, or the finger side of the knot. Now we're coming up back to that spot where we started that double. We'll go ahead and run it, pull it out, and the only thing that's left is the top and bottom lobe there. Now to finish it, we're going to make sure that we double that lobe up, but we want to come up the other side of that finger, going around, line going around the finger, and then come up in the middle. Same thing in the other side. We want to make sure we go across the other side of that line going around the finger and come up in the middle. Let's finish the top there. Now we want to go ahead and do the lower lobe. Okay, and that'll have the knot completed. So now we just have to form it and take the slack out. We'll do that. We'll go ahead and take it off our finger. And whenever you work in the slack, just make sure you don't try to pull out that finger loop. We want to keep that loop in there. Start by working it down, pull it back towards the loop end. Don't pull too tight, just kind of snug it down. Take what slack you have out that you can by pulling on the two ends, and then start working. And if you look at it, think of it as your lines. You have your leads, the right hand and the left hand run. When you pull, you want to find the one that's to the left, that has slack to the left, and it'll be at a crossing point. You'll see it's on the left here and the right here. So if you pull this one, it's going to pull up the opposite side, and that's the point that your line's doing the crossover, and that right hand will actually feed out one of those ends coming out to the left. So we'll go ahead and work all that out. We want to even it up, and then we can go ahead and start pulling both strands at the same time once you've worked out the majority, those runs that have the most slack in it. And just continue working this out until you get all your slack worked out through the knot. Here again, you see we're at the crossover point. So we'll be able to pull that right hand slack out by pulling on one of those lines coming out the left. Okay, so it looks like it's got everything evened out and pulled down. So we're ready to go ahead and do our next step. Here again, I'm not going to be using this as a lanyard, so I really don't need that loop in it. And it's usually best to cut that end out, leave your two free ends. That way they're free and can be tied into your knot or whatever work you want to add it to. And also the actual opening, once you trim this back, it has a tendency to close better on that loop end than what it does on the one with the two free ends coming out of it. So once I trim it off close, kind of push them back just a little bit into the fuzzies back into the knot to dress it. Kind of form it up. I'm going to take a little bit of super glue. Let's see, there. Go ahead and put it in right, just a little drop is all you need. Doesn't take much, and then work it back in. So close that cap up, and that's it. There's your knot. Now here's what I'm going to be using this one for. I'm working on a picture frame. I'm going to take it, star knot that I've done earlier. Going to run this through the hole in the center, pull it down, and come up with this arrangement. So this will be attached onto my frame, is what I'm going to be using this particular knot for. Thanks, and have a good day.